Ugh. Ah, go away. I don't want to show that yet. This is what I wanted to show. Still getting used to doing this live stream.
You're doing great.
It's gonna take time. So I mean, as I always say, these things are never scripted, and I just use this thing as basically a fucking paperweight. Anyway, if you don't already know, I am Wayne the Unknown. Welcome back to another live episode for Geeking Out. I am once again joined by my good friend Kyrus Cosplay, and we are going to be talking about basically what we've been talking about for the past few weeks now. We are going to be talking about HBO Max's The Last of Us. Particularly, we are going to be talking about episode 4. I want to say it's called. I can't remember.
Is it really only episode 4?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We got 5 more episodes to go.
I feel like I've watched so much more than that.
Well, I mean, if you want to count tonight at 6, then we got 4 more episodes to go. So, we'll get to see more on, Sam and Henry.
I can't wait. Get to watch it early.
Hey, guess what, boys and girls? If you played the game, you know what happens. But I'm not going to spoil that for those who haven't played the game. But as always, this live segment always does include spoilers pertaining to previous episodes we have talked about. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say though, with episode 4, there was a lot of like, I'm not gonna. I hate to be that person, but I'm gonna call it the the advertisement episode, because there was advertisements for like Arby's, Sara Lee. Oh my god!
I totally get that it's set up for what's gonna happen tonight, or whichever day you end up watching it, episode 5. But it's a bummer when I have to then wait a week between those episodes. Like, if I could just watch them all straight in a row, fine, no problem.
Yeah, but I feel like then people will just get bored and not know what to do afterwards.
Yeah. I don't know. Usually I binge through things too fast, and then I don't remember what happened, and then I have to
Yeah, I made that mistake with The Witcher when that came out on Netflix. I'm actually kind of liking this, streaming services, especially originals, are like, yeah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, entire season, and like, we're just going to introduce it weekly, which, in my opinion, it makes sense, especially if there's like only a short amount of episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have never been one to watch stuff as it comes out. The Last of Us is an exception, just because I've known it for so long. It's been a favorite of mine for so long.
I mean, like I said, the game came out like 10 years ago, and then
oh my god, I know.
And then like a year later we got the DLC, and then that same year we got the quote unquote PS4 remastered, which I don't really count. I count the official part 1 as a remaster, since they use it, anyway, that's for another time. So yeah, episode 1, there was a lot of like, they definitely, again, they deviated, but they're still a little bit, shot for shot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad that they're not, and as people said, people say, I'm glad that, they're not doing shot for the game, because at that point you might as well just play the fucking game.
Yeah, I think I would get bored if they did entirely shot for shot. I love that they're like in the truck and Ellie still has the magazine. Like, straight out of the game, but if that was the whole episode, I'd just be asleep.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, they're at the gas station, and of course they have to, have the joke book, which wasn't until later on in the game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I can't remember when that came in. I was like, was that DLC stuff? But I explicitly remember there was a joke book.
No, there was a pun book that that was like, because Ellie was like would read it to you, I think, in the game. I'm not sure when, but yeah.
I loved that. It's just it's the little things. If you watch the show, you're like, haha, that's funny. If you played the game, you're like, oh, they did the thing.
And this is also the first episode so far that didn't have any flashback scenes like the first three.
Yeah, you're right.
How, episode one was, there's the 1960s flashback scene, and then present day, and then, past day, and then present day. Episode two had that flashback scene with the scientist. Episode three was basically, an entire flashback episode in itself until it got to present day, which, still
Right.
kind of, that still stung a bit.
Still bummed out.
But yeah, no, this one I did enjoy. I mean, again, they're not. I'm glad they're not making these episodes super long. I'm glad,
Yeah.
they're releasing them weekly. So thoughts on this episode?
Well, biggest complaint: Sam and Henry did not get enough screen time.
Well, they were mentioned, which they were mentioned, which tells me what with Kathleen and her group of people, that I'm just like kind of wondering if like Sam and Henry were part of that group.
It definitely seems like that. Yeah. And Henry was like, we're out of here, and they're on the run now.
Yeah, my thing is, in the game we see people who were, going into the city and running away from these hunters, and next thing you know, it's the actual like small town of people.
Right.
I don't know if they're still necessarily hunters. And in the game, they weren't led by anyone. They were just kind of, doing their own thing, but as a group. In this one, we're introduced to, the quote unquote head honcho, Kathleen.
Oh, she is a scary lady. Oh my god, I do not like her.
Oh,
She is trouble.
oh yeah. No, she is trouble for sure. I mean, in the game, we're fighting our way through this, trying to get to, Tommy and the Fireflies. But before we get to that, I want to say with the Easter egg thing again, the truck scene with the Hank Williams, cassette, and how Joel said this is before my time, and then
Oh yeah.
Ellie with the magazine and that, and Joel's just like, that, and then the whole bye bye, dude, just throw.
Yeah, I think that was what, word for word from the game.
Almost. I mean, well,
Pretty great.
except for Hano said, I don't think your friend will be missing this because we know what happens in
Yeah.
episode three. But yeah, almost, yeah, word for word. And then unlike the game, they go to Pittsburgh, and the show they go to Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. They're a lot further across the country at this point.
Oh yeah. I mean, like seeing the map and everything, and of course, the campsite. How we kind of get an idea of what humanity has been like. How
Mhm.
Ellie thinks, well, affected. No, infected are too stupid, basically, to see that. It's more about, humans.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Then they get to that barricade with the Sarah Lee, with the Sarah Lee truck. I think it was like an intersection, and when they get into the place, how they can't go one way because of all the cars, so they have to like double back and go over an overpass to get to where they need to go through Kansas City.
Right. Should have driven around.
Yeah.
Should have gone the long way.
Oh yeah, they should have. And we almost get a shot for shot of that scene from the game where that guy's coming out, the ambush scene.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it's a lot different. I know some people, including myself, were hoping, no, he ain't even hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But in the show, they're like, we're gonna help him. Like, no, we're not. Buckle your seat. And doesn't even hit the guy. Just like drives past, and they get the brick thrown at them, and then they crash into a laundromat.
Yeah.
How in the show they crashed into a convenience store after they got hit by that bus.
Yeah. The bus just coming out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, again, I don't mind the deviating what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's definitely different, and we got also introduced to another scene a whole lot earlier too during that gunfight scene.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on the ambush scene?
When there's there's like that one guy who's separate from the others, and he's choking Joel, and Ellie has to go and shoot him. I thought that was a really effective scene. Like, there's no cutting away. This is a purposely long, painful, uncomfortable scene. We have to watch this guy die, and it's going to be really uncomfy.
Oh yeah, no.
I liked that a lot. That was very well done.
And that's, again, that is a recreation and in a different way of when Joel's basically being drowned in that small puddle in the hotel.
Yeah. I mean, it's not fun, but it really drives the point home of, hey, we're still in this terrible situation, but killing people, like, it still sucks. We don't like it.
No. We do not. Like, you can even see how Ellie, like, reacted when she had to shoot the guy in the back, and the next thing you know, the guy goes from like attack, kill to like, please no, don't. We have this food. We have food. We have shelter. Take whatever you want. And Joe's like, yeah, I think that a slide. We don't see it happening, but we hear, and you can see Ellie's like here to see Ellie's face, like she can't believe what she did. Like she was even shocked. Like we see this girl who like takes an interest, like, oh, this is what it's like. But when Ellie does, like, oh no, this is not exactly what I was expecting.
Yeah, I definitely like that she shot him, and he didn't die right away.
Not so like in the game,
wounded, and I have to deal with the consequences of your actions. And
yeah,
like if we let him live, he's gonna go get his buddies. But if we kill him, well, then we have to kill him, and that sucks.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, even Joel, like we don't know what exactly happened. So I think like Joel like stabbed him or something. Because Joel takes out his the knife. And again, I thought it was funny that they were fighting right by a Cool Ranch fridge thing. Again, I'm calling it the advertising episode because we see the Arby's, we see the Sara Lee, we see the Cool Ranch. I'm just like, okay, is this, are you guys trying to promote something?
I must be like advertisement blind because I never see these things when I'm watching TV. I'm like, what placement where?
Oh, I'm not complaining. I just thought it was hilarious. But it's definitely different from what we see in the game where Ellie grabs the gun and from like onto that puddle and shoots the guy dead. To where in the show, she grabs Frank's pistol and it's like, okay, so that's how she's gonna probably end up shooting someone in the later episode. Like, nope. I don't mind the deviation. I don't mind how they're taking some scenes that are later on from the game and moving them a little bit early.
Right.
And then we get to we're introduced to Kathleen, and that, yeah,
I think, thinking still in the ambush for a sec, I think the only thing that I maybe would nitpick is in the game, they get away from the ambushers and they open that garage. And there's just like piles of clothes and like bodies and
we only see like we only see like a pile of burnt bodies in this one.
Right. And I don't know if they're gonna show that later, but it feels like they should have shown that during the initial ambush scene. And I felt like that's effective in the game, because otherwise I'm like, okay, I get it. Kathleen's a bad lady. These people were obviously out to get us, but like it really drove the point home. Like, hey, do not stay here. Do not get caught.
No, and it shows that these are the people who were living in a QZ.
Yeah.
Like they were tired of Fedra, so they basically overthrew Fedra.
I loved that.
Like you see the abandoned Fedra checkpoint.
Yeah.
These people are just living, fighting to survive, and next you see Kathleen basically interrogating a doctor in a Fedra cage where they would beat up and interrogate people. Like she's asking where Sam is and all that, and we don't even know what Sam did. Like, why did Sam? I mean, in the game, it show Sam and Henry are on their way to join the Fireflies.
Right, they're traveling through.
Yeah, because they have like their own little base of operations. And this one, what did Henry do to piss off Kathleen?
Right. I really like how she's written as a villain so far. I like that she's tough as nails and this cute little
Oh yeah,
middle-aged lady, and she's
and
tough and she's scary, but she doesn't yell. She doesn't have to raise
this
her voice. Not
this
really.
the actress who plays this her I don't think she's ever played as a toughest nail fuck around and find out. I'm used to seeing her play as the character Rose from Two and a Half Men. The girl who was obsessed with Charlie. And
Yeah.
I'm like, look, when I actually was like, wait, I know her. That's Rose from Two and a Half Men. Like, she did well because
Yeah.
she's usually known for playing like innocent characters, but like playing as someone who is just like, I'm guessing she's probably the one who led the charge to overthrow the Kansas City QZ.
I'd believe that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know how the doctor said, "Oh, I raised you and everything, and
Hmm.
I'm sorry about what happened to your brother and everything." Blah 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 blah. So I'm guessing my theory is I'm not sure if they're going to show a flashback because her brother's mentioned,
Yeah.
but like I'm guessing she was probably like 10 or something. I don't know how old she is in this show. Is the thing.
Yeah. It's hard
Her age,
to tell
because the
sometimes.
doctor's saying, "Oh, I gave, I gave, I delivered you and everything," trying to appeal to her better nature. And the next thing you know, we see the bodies being brought back from Ellie and Joel's standoff,
Hmm.
and like, "And do you need a doctor? Oh, it's too late."
That was cold and ruthless, and it was perfect. It's very refreshing to have like a villain leader who's not a man for once and who doesn't just use brute strength. So I found that very refreshing.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I like how, unlike the game, how the main focal point is Ellie and
Yeah.
Joel. Like we're getting, I mean, even Neil and Craig were saying that they were wanted to humanize these people, all these side characters.
Hmm.
Because in the game they're more side characters or one-off characters who we'll never see again, or someone
Right.
you'll have to kill. But in the show, they're like, no, we're gonna let what these people are really like, what
Yeah.
they have to go through, which I'm actually okay with. Usually, I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't know why we're seeing all these people, but if it's done well,
Hmm.
like the first season of The Witcher,
Yeah.
it's good to see these other characters. Like, okay, who's this character? I'm interested in knowing who this character is. Why are they like the way they are? And she's hell bent on trying to. You can tell over the years that she's just like had had it and was like done with everyone's bullshit. Like she thinks, oh, Henry brought these people in to take over and.
Hmm.
I was like, well, technically, your men started it when they were driving through, but she's more like, no, we need to find Henry. We need to find him now. We need to, bring him back, and you know, not even with like a second thought, just like find anyone who you think is conspiring against me and just execute them.
Yeah. I don't know how much she believes Henry caused everything so much as she's just acting like a cult leader and trying to get people to do what she wants and
Oh
fear
yeah, no,
mongering. It's
yeah,
fantastic.
and I'm hoping in tonight's episode, which I'm probably going to be watching after this.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, I'm hoping it explains. We don't even see. We only hear Sam and Henry being mentioned in this one.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
she goes into their little attic place to where they eat, and then you can tell that Sam's drawing of the superhero. That I'm guessing he sees Henry as a superhero.
Yeah, I was watching that episode with some friends, and one of them, like, knows the story generally, but doesn't remember Sam or Henry. And we see the drawings, and he's like, oh my God, they're little kids. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, they are.
Yeah, I think
At least
what
Sam is.
Sam. I mean, yeah, Sam said he was like 13, I believe.
Is he really that old?
Yeah, he said he was like 13 in the game, or he was like trying to say he was like, "Oh, I'm that age too." Like, no, you're not. Well, I'm almost that age. I think he's like a year or 2 years younger than Ellie. I
He
can't
looks like he's
remember.
like 7 in the show.
Well, he looked a little older. Well,
All right,
you
fine,
couldn't
8.
really. Well, we don't. We'll know.
Yeah.
for tonight. I'm not. I don't know how they're gonna. We'll give our little thoughts on that, and of course, we'll give more of our thoughts on that next week. But you know, and the one thing I do like, Kathleen's second in command, Perry, is voiced by Tommy's voice actor from the video game.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So they not only did they bring in Marlene, Troy
Mm-hmm.
Baker, who we saw in a clip, Ashley Johnson, who we saw in the clip. They even brought the guy. They brought like the four main voice actors to play side characters in this show.
I love Troy Baker specifically. He's just so good at his job.
Oh yeah, I'm looking again. I'm looking forward to, but like I didn't know that was the actor. Like, who is
Mm-hmm.
this? Mercenary guy. And then I saw
Yeah.
the behind the scenes, like, oh my fucking god, that's Tommy. And if you go back to listen, you can actually hear the voice he used for Tommy in the game.
Oh, I love that.
I thought that was a little nice touch, in my opinion. Like, they got like four of the main cast. Like, okay, I'm happy. And then when she's all like trying to want to look, we got to find Sam. Like, he's all like, yeah, you got to see this. Like, what the hell are they doing? And then he takes her to that thing, and I'm just like, ground shouldn't be moving like that.
Yeah, the ground is breathing. Love that.
Mm-mm. I know what that is. And if the trailer for episode 5 isn't in,
I love how even if you have not played the game, it's just really obvious that's bad news.
oh yeah, and he's like, we need to tell the people no. Like, she has one goal and one goal in mind: find who's causing havoc in her town and find Sam and Henry. She's more of like, yeah, I don't care. I don't care if people know about that. It's like, so you're willing to risk the lives of your people over.
Absolutely.
It's like she has that mayor. She has that mentality like the mayor from the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
People look up to them, but they start going a little stir crazy. Negan, the mayor. I mean, I'm not that far in The Walking Dead. I just gave up watching that show altogether.
Ugh, I got to Negan's like episodes in The Walking Dead. And I don't know if you've seen some of the more recent Godzilla movies, but I saw one and it was like the first one of the remakes. I think it came out in like 2013 or something. And they don't show the monster for half of the movie, which I
Oh,
think
I'm
is
sure.
great. They just like build up tension and whatever. They did not do
Oh
that with Negan.
no, I mean,
I
and
saw too much of
and
Negan too
also
fast.
and also same with that scene where we saw the ground moving. Like, you can tell that Kathleen and Perry knew what that was.
Yes, I like how they don't spill the beans right away. We have to wait to find out, and we have to let it sit
I'm
for a while.
like, ground shaking, breathing, and a loud like, that's a fucking bloater.
Run fast, run far.
Run fast, run far, and don't get hit by its spore pods. Which I'm kind of curious, since they took out spores.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine they took out the spore pods.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of curious when tonight's episode comes up. Like, okay, well, what are they gonna show in this one? Hmm?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
I don't know if it's gonna have like tendrils coming out of it and it, like grabs people, like a vine monster, whatever. I have no idea, but I do expect it to be heavily armored, like in the game.
oh, it from what I saw in the trailer for that little like few seconds we saw in
A
the
half
trailer.
second image in the dark.
Yeah, and I'm kind of curious, you know. Yeah, but then like the rest of this episode is just Joel and Ellie climbing up a bunch of fucking stairs. Like 40, if I'm not mistaken, he said 47.
I have been doing the Stairmaster at the gym a lot lately. You know what? When Joel was at the top, I was like, ooh, I feel that, man.
It reminded me of that level from Final Fantasy VII, the
Oh my
original,
god. I ran up all the
where, where, where you can either go through the main entrance or in the stairs. And I'm just like, I even like when I saw like in the game, like, yeah, fuck that. I was just like, you know what? Leave me behind. Leave me behind. Go on. I'll catch up in like 5 years.
I took the stairs in that game and it was fantastic because it's like a 10-minute climbing sequence and the music starts out really epic at the bottom. And the higher you get, the
Oh
more it
yeah,
like
and,
starts to
and just
slow
and
and
just
get tired. Oh, it's
and
great.
just like in the remaster, how you can either you know take the elevators and fight or take the stairs. Like, no, why? I'm so glad that wasn't a thing in the game. Because fuck that shit. It's like, yeah, you know what? I don't think I want to continue this game if I have to climb like 47 fucking flights of stairs.
That was hilarious. But yeah, Joel gets to the top. He's winded. He's dying. He's like, God damn it, I'm old. And I
I
was like,
mean,
sympathy.
they just had to avoid a bunch of trucks and everything
Yeah.
in an abandoned building, looking through a covered up newspaper, you know, window, which and then of course like Joel trust Ellie. Okay, well, since you know how to shoot,
Yeah.
here's a gun. Not like in the game where she's given the rifle. She's like, okay, well, you use this pistol, so I'm going to actually teach you how to. Oh, okay, well, fine then. And then we actually get Joel's little backstory on how he was on both sides. I know
Right.
you said you were looking forward to seeing a flashback scene,
Didn't get it. It's
but
fine.
but he goes into more detail. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't just him and Tess. It was him, Tess, a group of people, and Tommy.
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, I mean, I can see kind of see why. I mean, as Joel said, we got to do what you got to do to survive.
Hmm. Yeah, I like that he explained about Tommy being a joiner and how he goes from group to group to group. Because in the game, it's kind of just, oh, we haven't talked in a while.
Oh yeah,
I don't remember there being a lot of other development for Tommy besides that.
oh yeah, and Joel even mentions how Tommy was a vet,
Yeah.
which was a nice little detail, which explains the sticker on the truck, which was a nice little, you know. Joel didn't want to talk about, it, and Ellie talks about how that wasn't the first time she had to take a human life,
Yeah.
and
I,
she didn't even want to talk about it.
I think
I'm
that was
gonna,
a reference to the DLC when
yeah,
Riley.
that's what I'm thinking too. Like, you might I can like when Ellie says I don't want to talk about it, it's like it was probably Riley because
Yeah,
in the DLC, spoilers,
the whole thing is spoilers.
yeah, I mean, listen, like, I don't like doing spoilers, but at this point, I like talking about the show. But yeah, in this one, you know, Ellie doesn't want to talk about it. Like we know who Ellie's life, and I can see why Ellie doesn't want to talk about it.
Mhm.
She survived her infection. Riley didn't, so she put Riley out of her misery.
Yeah.
But this, I don't like sounding like this, but this episode kind of seemed a little too fast for me,
Oh,
despite it
yeah.
being 55 minutes. I liked it, but it's at the same time, it's like, yeah,
They don't feel fast to me, but every time the episode's ending, I'm like, wait, that's it? That's it?
I
Where'd
don't
it
want
go?
to wait. Again, I'm not trying to sound like a complaining, a negative Nancy here, but like, yeah. And of course, Ellie has to bring, having one more joke before the episode's over, and it's probably my favorite joke, and I can see why Joel started having, dad jokes as well in part two.
Hmm.
Like, do you know that diarrhea is oh, what was it?
It's genetic, right?
Yeah, do you know diarrhea is hereditary? What? Yeah, it runs in your genes. And then Joel with that little like you can't see, but you can kind of see him smirking and laughing. Like this is like the part where like there's Joel's like, okay, yeah, I'm not really seeing you as cargo. I'm more seeing you as because in the game he starts like, yeah, you're not really cargo anymore. I'm like kind of like, oh great. Now I'm now thinking of you like my daughter
Right.
because I think that's how old Sarah was Ellie's age. I
Yeah.
think. I could be wrong.
No,
Don't quote me.
I think they're about the same age.
Don't quote me on that. Maybe. It's been a hot minute.
I love how earlier in that scene, Joel is just busting up the glass, and Ellie's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Because I too, the sound, like the sound of the glass, I was like, "What? What is happening? What am I
Oh,
hearing?"
yeah, right. Well, yeah, because he said, and then she points out, well, your one ear's bad because of all the shooting.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, what Joel did was smart, But the thing is, it didn't work though,
I know.
because towards the end, Joel, Joel. The next thing
Yeah,
wake up, he
waking up
sees
at gunpoint.
a kid, Henry. And that scene was a lot different from the game because when in the game it was still broad freaking daylight, and Henry hits Joel,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, like their interaction is completely different. Again, I don't mind the deviation.
Yeah.
They wake. So I'm guessing Sam and Henry somehow. I guess Ellie heard the. I don't know. It doesn't show how they really got in.
Yeah,
They
I
just
don't know if
wake up.
it will either.
They just wake up. Ellie has a rifle pointed to her by Henry, and then Sam is like. And
He's
I do like Sam's little super painted superhero
it's
mask that he
so
has there.
adorable. I was waiting all episode for them to show up, and then he's there with the gun. And he's like, Shh. I'm like, yeah, finally.
And like, I'm not
The last
all
two
that.
seconds of the show.
I'm not. Yeah, it's like they get like 5 seconds, and then it's like to be continued. Like motherfucker.
I
But
know.
I am glad that we don't have to wait till Sunday because it's the Super Bowl. So I'm guessing
Yeah.
like HBO Max is like, yeah, you know what? We're gonna throw you a little bone and we're gonna show it 2 days in advance. Like
Oh, so
I'm
exciting.
okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, man, I had my tissue box ready. I was ready to cry all over Sam and Henry, and then just like
Well,
they
if
were
you
able to
look
like end the episode.
if you look on IMDb, it does say that they are in 2 episodes.
I have the tissues ready for tonight. Okay, it'll just be like pouring tears.
Yeah, I don't know. So before we actually talk about tonight's episode, like give our little insight, what were your entire thoughts, and did this episode exceed your expectations?
Well, could have done with some more Sam and Henry, so didn't exceed in that area, but
You're gonna
I
have to
liked
wait
it.
till 6 o'clock tonight to
I
watch
know,
Sam and Henry die.
God damn it. So, would have liked to have seen them, but knowing that there's a second episode, I'm okay with this being set up.
Like you'll let it slide.
Yeah, you get a pass this time. And I like the setup they did with the town, so yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, honestly, it exceeded my expectations too.
Mm-hmm.
I really like how in the post credit scene, I mean the post credit behind the scene, how Neil was saying, yeah, we're deviating even more, but I let it slide because it's the original creator
Yeah,
is working on this, so like I'm okay with that.
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like when the original creator is like a consultant or is working on the show, it's like, okay, I trust that. I did
This
it
is
with
how we
Lucifer.
avoid the Avatar: The Last Airbender movie. That's how we
No,
avoid getting that.
I don't know. The one thing I like about this upcoming, well, I mean, we'll talk about that another time when that one comes out.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that, like Neil's like, yeah, we know we're deviating, but we're still going to bring some aspects from the game. You'll notice these slight little changes, but that's what I love about the post credit behind the scenes. They explain why they did it. I like that.
I heard they have a podcast for the show too.
Yeah,
I think to it.
I think it's on Spotify. I think from what I've seen and heard, yeah, you can like listen to. I don't know what the podcast is exactly about though.
Yeah, all the cool kids have Spotify. I don't.
I listen to Spotify. I don't use it anymore. I use it for the Cosplay Con Talk series for audio, and that's just too much fucking work. So if I have the link, I have the link on my link tree in the description below after I, fix this up. If you want to listen to like the first few episodes from past cosplay con talk episodes, but any newer stuff is gonna be, on the channel. So quick little thoughts on tonight's episode, which will be up in the next 30 minutes.
Oh,
What?
30 minutes. It's so far away.
You can wait.
Ah!
You will wait and you will like it.
Dang it, you're right. I am expecting shit to completely hit the fan because it does in the game. We have signs of a bloater underground, and Kathleen is one angry, crazy lady.
I feel like, and this is just my opinion, I think Kathleen is gonna die.
I expect her to die, yes.
Whether it's by a bloater, whether it's by Ellie, Joel, or Sam and Henry.
Yeah.
You never know, because she's hell bent on finding Henry.
Yeah.
So
I hope we get an explanation. I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't, but I hope we get an explanation on, just what Henry did.
Well, I mean, in the game, we kind of got an explanation, like we were passing through on our way to the Fireflies.
Mm-hmm.
That was their explanation. And this one, yeah, I don't know what I'm hoping tonight we'll find out. Yeah, this is why we left, and and I'm sure it'll still be the same. Yeah, we're on our way to find the Fireflies.
Yeah. It's not working out with this group anymore, or whatever.
Oh no, Kathleen's become. My guess is, Kathleen just got in over her head, and they didn't like the way she was doing things, so they just, upped and left. And I imagine they had to do something to like piss Kathleen off, because just leaving and being done, yeah, that's one thing, but like I think Henry did something.
Yeah, I'll be interested to hear, because I could also see her getting mad just at the thought of them leaving. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a group where it's like, hey, you stay here with us, and if you try and leave, you die.
Pretty fucking much, yeah. I'm genuinely curious, honestly, on why they are going to yeah. I'm really looking forward to the bloater and what the bloater will do.
That should be interesting and horrifying.
Oh yeah. I 100% agree on that. For sure. Well, I think that should do it. As always, I've mentioned, would you like to promote yourself by letting people know where they can find you on social media?
Yeah. My name is Kira's Cosplay, and I have an Instagram and a Facebook, which you reminded me of.
Yeah.
I'm most active on Instagram. You can find me there.
Links to all that will be in the. And you have a TikTok, right, too?
It's been vacant for a while, but it does exist.
So if you want to see previous TikToks of theirs, be sure to check them out. And also, of course, anyone who just watched this or will be watching this, let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are on either here or my Instagram, or what your thoughts were on this on tonight's episode and last week's previous episode. Because then after this, they'll be going back to on Sundays, and also be sure next Friday to hear our thoughts on tonight's episode. Yeah. Wait, no, this is being live recorded. It's not pre-recorded. Fuck. Anyway, as always, once again, I am Wayne the Unknown. Oh, shit. Fuck. Wrong one. Until next time, thank you. Wait. I fucked up. Wait. Oh, wait, never mind. I'm on the right one.
You're doing great.
Until next time, thank you for listening. And as always,